Is a generic talk on gang stalking and retro-causality. I'll give you a little background in terms of you understanding what I'm trying to project to you here. There's certain background knowledge you will need to have, and then I'll tell you, I'll ask you for your help as targeted individuals to see if anybody has shared that experience with me, which I believe to be evidence of a retro-causal event, yeah, or retro-causal events. So the background really starts from understanding the reasons why we think. I mean, before I get into the background, let me just give you an introduction into the actual topic. Basically, retro-causality is when you experience an event, yeah, that's being caused by something or another event in the future, yeah. So you experience the effect before you experience the cause. This is retro-causality, when the arrow of time is pointing backwards. So something in the future, yeah, affects something in the past. So when you have gang stalkers, and this is the aim of this talk, when you have gang stalkers who appear to be reciting what you're thinking in your head, and you do all the tests, you run a dummy conversation with yourself, or dummy simulations in your head, with the purpose of finding out whether people will talk about those. So you could start thinking about be in your room, close the curtains, draw the curtains, shut the door, could have it in pitch black so that no one can claim to have seen it. They could only know about it if they were knowing what's in your head. So you have a conversation about shoes, and then you go outside and somebody starts to make reference to that conversation and starts to talk about the shoe you were thinking about. Now, where retro-causality comes into it is when they start talking about things that you're yet to do, yeah. So let's say you plan, no, let's say you don't even plan it. Let's say at midday, 12 o'clock p.m., somebody, no, let's say at midday, somebody starts talking to you about you should stop watching that TV program, and it's midday, you're not watching a TV program. You say, what TV program? And they tell you the TV program. Then at midnight later on that day, yeah, you're not even planning it, you're just going through the channels, and then you come across the program and you watch it, and then you remember, hang on a minute, this person earlier today was talking to me about me watching this video, this movie or this program. And when you realize that, that's when you say, hang on a minute, at midday that person was talking about something that was to happen 12 hours later, midnight. So they was actually discussing in the present an event that happened in the future, which means their discussion at that present time was caused by something that happened in your future. That's retro-causality. Yeah. Now, before you can deduce that retro-causality has taken place, this is the background, you need to understand why we think in the first place. Most of you who know my artistic tag name will know how to find my music. Yeah, there is certain music that really explores the relationship between consciousness and your physiology, your body, yeah, anatomy as well, or biology. Yeah. So basically, the reason why we think, yeah, the body needs hormones, yeah, to govern itself. The endocrine system, which is to do with hormones, helps regulate the body. So your emotions, yeah, are associated with hormones. When you're feeling aroused, yeah, that's testosterone that's doing that, or something like that. When you're feeling scared, that's adrenaline that's doing that. So the body uses the hormones that it can generate, yeah, to regulate itself. And consciousness is just a byproduct. Consciousness is just a mechanism that the body uses, yeah, to control its hormonal balance, yeah, if you like, and also to provide heat for the organs. Because when your brain is thinking, physically, your brain is heating up, and when that's heating up, it's heating the body. So it uses it as the body uses thinking as a heating source. Pragmatically, that's all it needs it for, to heat and to also help balance the hormones. So when the body needs testosterone, it will start to activate those neurons that it remembers, yeah, were active at the time, the last time you had your testosterone boost. So you'll be sitting there, and the body won't, for the body to tell you that it needs testosterone, it doesn't talk to you. All it does is starts to excite the neurons which are associated with the thoughts that bring about testosterone. You get horny, yeah? So when the body needs adrenaline, yeah, it could sometimes make you think of, evoke thoughts, yeah, by just activating those memory banks that are associated with fear. So it will make you remember something you're scared of. If it needs adrenaline, if it needs testosterone, it will make you remember something that turns you on. Yeah? So everything you're thinking at any time, you'll be able to source it, to find out why you're thinking it, just by considering what the body needs. So if you all of a sudden you're sitting there minding your own business, and then all of a sudden you start to be aroused, the body needs testosterone for one reason or another. Yeah. If you start to feel scared, the body needs adrenaline for one reason or another. Yeah. Whatever thought is in your head, if you start to feel like I'm feeling cold, the body is telling you it's cold. Yeah. So it just operates those areas that inform you that it's feeling that way. So every thought that's in your head, you'll be able to find out associated with the body. Now, why would the body need to remind you of something that you haven't even seen yet, something that hasn't even happened yet? What kind of hormones would it need from that kind of thought? Yeah, why would the body, yeah, make your mind, preoccupy your mind with something that it has no memory of? Yeah, there's no memory banks that's ever played that because it hasn't happened yet. Yeah, so when you reach that point and you cannot find any memories of something that's taking place in your head, and then you do it 12 hours into the future, and the memory of it was the thought of what you're experiencing 12 hours later. Yeah. So when your gang stalkers start to describe things that you realize these are things you were doing 12 hours later or a day later, then you have to say to yourself, these gang stalkers have the ability, these gang stalkers could be the evidence for retro-causality. Yeah. So my question is to all you targeted individuals, have you ever experienced that? I know you targeted individuals talk about people being able to read your minds, but have you ever experienced them reading your mind and talking about things that you haven't done yet, things that you ended up doing 1 day later or 2 days later? Have they ever done that? Yeah. If they have, leave your comments below. Yeah. I'd like to hear of your experiences. And just to give you an experience, I was once it was around midday, and I was on the street, and then one of the gang stalkers must have shouted out. It's the same analogy I gave to you. Shouted out something about a movie that I was to watch later on that night. Yeah, and then later on that night, I watched that movie, and then I remembered this person doing that. Then that's when I deduced that this guy at that time was discussing events that are yet to come. So that was retro-causality in motion right there. Yeah. Before we get into the mathematical equations describing these things, we first of all need to get the evidence and to understand what we're seeing. So if you just put in your comments if you've ever experienced this, that would be great. Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, these things are happening. Science is saying that retro-causality is possible, but we don't have any evidence. And I believe that targeted individuals have a wealth of evidence, and we just need to know how to get together to examine that evidence.